Okay, so the second part of the lesson for Unit 1, Lesson 2 on exponential growth, goes a little bit further with exponential functions, more specifically with compound interest. So just to show you the difference between simple interest and compound interest, simple interest only accrues on the principal investment annually, while compound interest accrues on the principal and the interest already earned. So what does that mean? That basically means that every year, simple interest, you're just basically going to get an interest on the value that you might put in the bank, whereas compound interest, there are possibilities that you're going to gain interest on interest. So this year, for algebra, you're really only responsible for finding out compound interest annually, but there are, when you get into Algebra 2, you're going to go into more detail with compound interest and actually see how much interest is being made monthly or semi-annually or quarterly. But for now, we're really just sticking with compound interest annually. So it's similar to, in that case, simple interest, because it's only one time a year, but really, to understand compound interest, you're basically making interest on interest. Okay, so compound interest again is the interest earned on a principal and on previously earned interest. So the balance A of n of an account earning compound interest is. So here is your formula. Notice it doesn't look any different from the other video we just posted. Same thing, A of n or y, these are all the same things, and again, even y equals a times b to the x, or a to the t, it doesn't really necessarily matter, but the b is what's in the parentheses in this case, and again, it's a growth because you're adding a particular percent in decimal form. So nothing changed here from last video to this video. It's the same exact formula, so it's pretty easy to kind of remember it. Again, A is the initial value times 1 plus the rate, percentage in decimal form, to the however many years you're looking for. So just to see basically what I just mentioned, compound interest, starting amount, the interest, which we're going to talk about that, what it means when you add 1 plus the rate, that's going to be your B, and then to the exponent of x, depending on how many years, months, days, whatever the case may be. So again, you're only responsible in Algebra 1 for finding something out compounded annually. Okay, like I mentioned before, there's semi-annually, there's quarterly interest being made, and monthly, and maybe sometimes daily. Hardly ever, but there is a possibility for daily. So that would be a different formula. We're only responsible for this formula here. So let's get into an example right at the bottom of the page. Okay, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. All right. So here's an example of you making money compounded interest annually. If you deposit $1,500 at 3.5% compounded annually for 18 years. Well, same exact idea. You're going to be using this formula, y equals a times 1 plus the rate to the t power. Again, that growth factor here is representing your b, which in this case would be y equals 1,500 times 1 plus, remember 3.5%, move it over 2 places the decimal to get 0.035, and we're looking for how much you're going to make in 18 years. So in 18 years at that interest rate, you're going to be making $2,786.23. So again, compound interest is just so every year you're going to be making money, and then on top of that new sum or new total, you're going to make more interest on that total, and then another 2 years later you're going to make interest on that new principal and not the original principal that you started with. So that's what compound interest actually is. Very similar to what we were just working with on the last slide. So what I want you to do is use the formula that I just showed you. The y equals, that's the formula you're always going to use for compound interest. Y equals a times 1 plus r to the t, And I want you to, you know what, let's do one together, and then I'll have you guys work on the 2, 3, and 4 on your own, and then we'll come back with the video and with the answers. So y equals 4,000 times 1 plus, in this case the rate is 6, so 6 is represented as 0.06 to the, we're looking in 5 years. So you're going to take your calculator, you're going to go to you're going to go into the calculator feature, 4,000 times 1 plus 0.06 to the 5th power, and you're going to get your answer. So in 5 years, this amount is going to be, and again we round money to the nearest hundredths. If you make 6% interest annually, compounded annually, after that 5th year, you'll make $5,352.90. Okay, so pause the video, try numbers 2, 3, 4, and the fast finisher, and we'll come back with the answer key.